Okay, so hi everybody. So this is the next in the I suppose League of Legends series. So what's happened today is anyone who is waiting on a Minecraft episode, the curse client has changed, so I need to try and find my world that was saved to my computer if it didn't get deleted. So that might stop tomorrow, and we might have to find a new FTB to play or a new start again or something like that. But anyways, and League, I said I'd do an update on like my runes and masteries currently because people asked for it, and instead of playing a game. So here we go. So this is my current pages. I'm going to fly through them really, really fast. So this is for AP and solo lanes or jungle. It's ability power, armor, ability power in the glyphs and in the, I think it's glyphs. No, we have magic resist in the glyphs, ability power on the quints, magic pen in the marks, and armor in the seals. Yeah, so that's just my standard, bog standard AP. If I don't know what I'm doing really with them, I play this, and I've kind of stopped using this a lot on champions that I'm comfortable with. 80 burst. This is for like those 80 assassin type people in mid and ADCs that burst people down. So they got lethality, attack damage, magic resist, and armor, and there is a critical strike probably in the mark somewhere. It'll probably be hard to find. Where is it in here? Don't know. There's a crit strike in here. So, oh, there it is. It's in the glyphs. You always want to put a little bit of crit into an AD build on your rune page. I recommend. This one, we got the same things going on in glyphs. Attack speed. This is an attack speed ADC or a solo lane. So you get attack speed on your glyphs and then get AD on your marks and then get armor on your seals. That's what I normally do. Hybrid jungle. So this is like an Elise. And on Elise, it would also work on probably Diana. I use this on anyways. So you got attack damage on the marks. You've got magic resist on the glyphs. You've got armor on the seals, and you've got AP on the quints. Next one is my AD jungles and AD tanks tops. So this is for people who run like mass AD in the jungle. I used to run this on Vi a lot, and Lee Sin, and who else did I run? Wukong. They're probably the three that I'd run mostly on. I'd run it on some AD tanks top like Darius. I could probably run this on. Trundle I might run it on. I probably actually would run on Trundle. That's actually pretty good stats for Trundle and Darius. Pantheon, yeah. So that's 80 anyways, and kind of tanky. So we're talking magic resist glyphs, armor yellows, and quints, and marks are 80. And then we're going to go attack 80 and attack speed. 80 and attack speed is armor yellows, magic resist glyphs, attack damage on the reds, and then attack speed on the quints. Another thing as well you might notice about this, anytime I run armor or I run magic resist, you can also run these per level if you're not in a lane versus that. So run armor per level on the yellows if you're not in a lane which is going to deal heavy AD. This is if you want to be more specific, because I have loads of spare slots in my runes and I probably should do this myself. And then run scaling magic resist if you're not against an AP. Okay, where are we at? That was my attack speed and jungle. So, who would I run this on? I'd run this on Uiscedoir. I'd run this on Shyvana. I'd run this on any jungle I don't know how to clear the jungle with. I would run this on because this is probably the safest page to run some attack speed. So yeah, I run this on Rammus when I played him, when I didn't really know how to play him. I'd use it on Volibear when I didn't know how to play him. Anyone I don't know how to play, this is the first page I will try them on, even regardless of whether they're AP or AD, because this is safe for your first clear. Okay, ADCD. This is for Zed and Riven are probably the two that most get the most use out of this. Anybody who really doesn't really just needs cooldown, has really short cooldowns, and it deals a lot of AD. So I'd run this on them if I want a more early game advantage. So it's 80, and this is armor, yeah, and then cooldown reduction. Okay. Full attack speed, solo jungle. So this is like mastery. Probably the only person I'd run this on. Udyr I used to, and Zin I used to. But really, unless you know you're gonna win a fight, you could run this early on, and you could go invade people and fight them. But Yi is probably the one who gets the most use out of this page. Um, Pure tank versus AD. This is for more like the supports like Braum, Blitz, Scion, things like that. This is a versus an all AD lane. So if you're versus anyone who doesn't deal significant magic damage, uh, any tank and an AD are usually fine with this. No tanks really deal mass AP damage. And then when you start getting into APs, some of them you could still run this on. If you're against a Janna, I'd still run this page. If you're against a Lulu, I wouldn't run this page. If you're against a brand, I wouldn't run this page, if you get what I mean. Okay, so this is magic resist scaling. This is because we're not against an AP. And then armor. And then health on the quints, and then armor. So this is for a tanky person versus AD and no AP. This is if there's an AP in the lane, you run armor, but instead of scaling magic resist, you run flat magic resist. Then you got your health and your armor. Okay, this page here is more for a specific set of things you're looking for. If you are playing a person in the jungle who needs attack speed to clear the jungle, and you want cooldown so you can get your cooldowns faster, like someone who needs to spam or something, this is the page I would run. So I would run this on... I would actually run this on Riven Top sometimes. But other than that, I suppose... I'm trying to think of someone who would benefit from these sets. Udyr. Udyr would do fine on this clear, so would Zin. But you're missing out on stuff here. So maybe... I'm trying to think of other people. This is kind of just like me testing out things, these two pages anyways. And this is another one with more armor and magic resist. This is just for cooldown reduction. And this one I actually have tried on Fizz and Jungle, and it works okay. Another person is... who did I run this on? Oh, Wukong. I ran this on Wukong as well, and it was okay. Attack speed and cooldown reduction. Now this one works perfectly on Udyr. Anybody else who builds attack speed and benefits from a little bit of cooldown reduction, and there's not a lot of AP on the other team, they can run this page. So this is a lot of attack speed. Yi would do really well with this if there was very little AP on the other team. Okay, AP support. So this is where I just want to play chill. Like a heal support, like Sona, Lulu, I will play this on a lot. And the idea of this is you just want mana regen so you can keep healing people and they can't get you out of lane. That's basically it. You're playing chill, you're just poking randomly, and you're sitting way back. And then the last page I actually have is my APCD page. This is for people who basically want to spam a bit more and you're okay at managing mana. So I do run this on Lulu sometimes. I do not recommend it though for anybody who is not used to Lulu. But a champion that I use this on quite a lot is actually Fizz if I am against a team that doesn't have a lot of AD. The reason why I would run this is because it gets your cooldown reduction much faster. So by the time you have your Lucidity Boots, your Lich Bane, and either Zanya's or Rocket Belt or Abyssal, you will have 40%. So that's like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, maybe. You're having full CDR, and you can just spam and stuff. And if you have this with Zanya's, then you have the Zanya's effect, which allows you to wait for the amount of seconds it's going to take for all of your spells to go back up, except for your. So that's that. Okay, so there are all the ruins. We'll go to the masteries. So I actually have a full set of masteries. Now most of them I use, some of them I don't use because I don't play certain champions anymore. But we'll go through them so you can see, and I'll tell you who I play them on. This is burst solo. This is for any AP mage mid, any person who dives in and wants to deal the most amount of burst damage possible. That's who I run this page on. I will run it on Ziggs, Zed, Yasuo, Fizz, any people like that. Yasuo at the moment though probably does better with Fervor, but yeah, that's that. Assassin Control solo. This is more for like who's a good assassin control. Ari does this. It's actually the exact same as the other page, isn't it? I think I must have adapted my work. Oh, the only difference is I gain gold here, and that shouldn't even be there. That means I use this on the support, probably. Okay, well anyways. So yeah, same thing on Assassin, like I was saying before. No, thank you. Okay, dot solo. DOT, so this is damage over time. That's because of the Deathfire touch. So damaging ability with champion causes them to take damage over 4 seconds. So anyone who deals more damage over time than other champions. This is kind of a decent page because this applies with damage over time effects. So anyone with decent range, so they can keep attacking someone, this is okay on, but also on people like Malzahar and that's pretty much it. I know there's a few other dots in the game, but like Malzahar is probably the biggest one. Oh, Cassiopeia with her poison is another one. Hit and run solo. So this is if you just want to get in really fast, kill someone, and then run back out. Don't use it on anyone before. Use it on Kha'Zix. Poke ADC. This is if you were playing someone who's just going to poke from a long range. Jhin used to run this page. Don't really use it too much anymore. You could also use it on Ezreal. This page here is lifesteal ADC. This is what I tend to use on ADCs that deal a lot more AD damage and rely on their auto attacks to deal damage. So probably someone like Draven, but Fervor is buffed at the moment, so Fervor is kind of good on every ADC. This is my general page whenever I play ADC and I kind of don't know what I'm doing, or I play anyone who is based off of attack speed. I will go this page because it's the safe page. That's with the Fervor in, and even before Fervor was buffed, this was my safe page because I play Tristana usually if I have to ADC, or I will play Ezreal. And this page here is like my main one I used to use on Draven and Ezreal for a while. This is if you want to get really early game pressure. This was before Warlords Bloodlust got changed, so this might actually be better to swap to Fervor. Assassin's Jungle. So, in the jungle, basically an assassin just wants to deal heavy burst damage. So people like Lee Sin, people like who else deals heavy burst damage? Xin Zhao and Vi. Vi would do really well with this page as an assassin. Wukong would do okay with it too. Support tank jungle. Now this is where we get into the weird world. So there's a new kind of playstyle that's kind of emerged this year for junglers, and I don't know if it's at all levels, but it kind of the most obvious one for this is Ivern. He has a really supporty type style, but this page here that I have is actually not for Ivern. This is actually for other champions that I play in a supporty kind of style. So the main one I would recommend this kind of page on is probably Nunu. And other champions that can use this page are other support tank type champions. So ones with CC and tanky stats that are just going to be around the ADC, peeling for them like a support once the game comes to a certain point. Ivern does okay on this, but he does much better with Windspeaker's Blessing. Assassin Auto Jungle. This is the Yi, basically, and Zizou. Tank Jungle, my favorite page of the season. I use this in every, well, 90% of my ranked games. I'll use this page that I play jungle. I use it on Udyr, I use it on Volibear, I use it on Rammus, I use it on Hecarim, Gragas. There's a lot of champions that get a good use out of this page because of the Courage of Colossus, the shield on the CC. Support jungle. This is the one that I run on Ivern that I was on about earlier. So this is more for the supports that can heal and shield people. Ivern's probably the only one though that really does that in the jungle anymore. Tank Solar Resist. This is if you're in a solo lane and you are going to build resistances. Good champions like this are like Malphite and stuff. Tank support. Tank support. This is if you want to like really peel for your ADC and you want to take some damage off him. I would run this on Leona, and I would run it on Nautilus. Shields, heals, top. This is if you're playing a champion that has shields and heals and goes top, because the idea is you transition to support after a while, so you want your heals and stuff for supporting. So this would be if you run Lulu top, if you run who else has shields and heals and really transitions? Karma top. But like these champions, they're not played in those lanes anymore, really. Ivern top if you really wanted to. Any champion that could shield other champions that goes top. That's basically it, and that you're going to go and group with your team purposely. Okay, attack speed top. This is for Kale. Is probably the main user of this, and if you're playing Xin top or something, you could probably run this. This thing here, basically, if you're running this, you have to remember to jump into bushes and in and out of bushes and stuff. Wukong does okay with that page too. Heal support. This is my current Lulu page. If you don't know how to play Lulu, that is what I would run. It works really well. And back to the AP Masteries. Sorry, AP support runes. If you want to know, that's what I run on Lulu. Kill support. This is what I run on any kind of tank who can get engaged. So Braum, Blitz, Scion. I would run this on Brand. I would run this on Zyra. So basically, tanks that can engage or people who are going to burst other champions. And then the last page is my Grasp AD top. So this is if I'm playing an AD champ, I'm going top, and I want to get the effect of Grasp to more sustain in lane. So this basically causes you to drag out your lane a bit longer so you can fight people. I run this on Yorick. I run this on Yorick. I run this on Mundo, and I run this on any other champion that I just don't really, any champion top that I want to kind of play safe on. I would run Grasp on, because the melee advantage, especially if they're melee, because Grass, you'll always get it against the melee. You just whack them, and that's it. You stack it on a minion and whack them. And that's how you play like a really, really sustained lane. Okay, guys, so that was the end of this game. Now, I don't really know what's going to happen with episodes for the next while. We might do more League ones, but I'm not sure. That's because of the Minecraft stopping and stuff. So if we end up doing more Minecraft videos, it will probably be in a new FTP. And if we do League videos, I suppose I'll do games tomorrow or something if it's that. And I will see you in the next one. Good luck, guys.